The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining us this morning on our webinar. Today's webinar subject is Social Security, Social Security claiming opportunities and Social Security seminars. We're going to talk about all of those. We're going to give you a little hot tip or two on some things to be cognizant of when you're talking to your clients about Social Security, give you some resources, give you the opportunity to learn a little bit more about seminars and how those are working, and introduce you to the coach, Dave Pimper, who runs Lazarus Coaching and is working with us on the Social Security claiming side in terms of seminars and information. So going to be a great webinar today. We've got a big crowd today, which Social Security tends to draw a big crowd, and there's a good reason for that. It is certainly one of those things that in our business, we're talking about retirement planning and helping people prepare for being on the right pace with their income. Social Security is very, very important. Recently, there was a study that was put out, and I want to say it was by Nationwide, that basically mentioned that 76% of clients would consider changing their advisor if Social Security information were not available through their current advisor. So it's something great to know, great to have under your belt, and certainly can build opportunities with current clients and can introduce you to new clients. So we're going to have a great webinar today. My name is Steve Murray. I'm the Executive Vice President here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and my main function here is to make sure we have everything that we need to make our producers feel at home and have what they need to be successful, and then reward them for that success. So we try to have the right training, right products, right incentives, and of course the right service, which is really kind of the mainstay of Insurance Agency Marketing Services over the last 32, now going on 33 years. So welcome to all of you. Whatever we can do to help along the way, please don't hesitate. If you have a question, type it in and we'll get it answered as quickly as we can. There'll be a couple polls that pop up. I'd appreciate if you'd answer those quickly so we can move along and get on to the coach. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully, there we go. I want to make sure that all of you are aware. We've got a pretty diverse group. Many of you have been with us for many years, and some of you are relatively new to us, and some of us are seeing us for the first time. So I want to make sure that you're aware of some of our basic programs here as we get started. We've got a couple of programs that everyone should be aware of because it literally is ways that we send out checks for thousands of dollars each month. The referred producer program is the easiest one for you all. If you have a colleague that you think might be interested in anything that we can do to help them build their business and you feel comfortable recommending them to us, we do all the follow-up. If they get appointed, we send you out a $50 contracting fee. If after that they do business, we send you a bonus based on the business that they do, and those checks add up to thousands of dollars. All the time when I'm at our conventions, guys will come up to me and thank me for those checks, and I'm like, boy, we just need to thank you, because that really has been the core of our growth, is the referrals from folks that are happy with what we do for them. The RPM program is just a way of us showing them thanks on a monetary basis. Nothing that goes out to you comes out of your referee's pocket. That is just a bonus paid to you by IAMS in appreciation for that referral. The marketing reimbursement program is similar, but it's just based on your own business. So when you do business with us, we do put money into your marketing reimbursement account, and those grow and grow and grow, and a lot of guys don't tap into them regularly, which I think is a shame. Anything that you do to market to grow your business, you can send us a receipt and we'll match your spend dollar for dollar. So if you have any questions on either of those programs, give your annuity sales director a call. Let them walk you through how that works and how we can help you grow your business with a little extra cash. Besides that, we have the new producer builders, and I'm looking at our list of attendees today, and it looks we've got like about 25 or 26 folks whose names I don't necessarily recognize. So this is probably directed most at you. Those of you that have been with us for 180 days or less, haven't done your first pieces of business, or maybe you've done some business but haven't reached the levels that you want to. These are different levels you can qualify for new production builders. You can see when you look at the numbers, you can see they're a little bit of a lost leader for us, but it really is designed from our standpoint to reward you and incent you to do business with us. We know that when you get started and up and rolling with us, we're going to do business together for years to come. Our service really will kind of reel you in. Our incentives and our training, all those things will reel you in. So we appreciate the fact that you give us a shot. You can see the different levels that you can claim at. I will draw your attention to two of them here. At the 300,000 point level, which would basically be 300,000 annuity business, you can get a Social Security program and we'll pay for your first mailing. At the 500,000 point level, we will also do a mailing and seminar coaching with Dave, and I think we actually increased that for Social Security seminars because the mailers are a little less expensive. So I think we probably get that up to about a 5,000 piece mailing, all the materials that you need, and that step-by-step coaching with David Pimper, the coach, which you'll hear more about. We're big believers in the coaching aspect, and if you're going to get in the seminar business, even if you've been in the seminar business and want to now maybe get back into it or change the way that you're doing it, we're super big believers in having a coach for every step of the way, and even after the fact, and even after your 5th, 6th, 7th seminar, when you feel like you have it down pat and you still run across a question, we're big believers in coaching is key to your success. And so I really like that 500,000 point level for those of you that may consider after the webinar today that you may want to get into the seminar business. We'd love to help you with that. Great back office support. I alluded to it here just a little bit ago. Our service is really second to none. Even our competitors, as a general rule, Garrett will pretty much agree with me on that. We do everything for you from everything that we can do for you from the submission to the commission process. And even what a lot of guys don't understand and don't realize is that once even everything is done and trying to get the money in, we help you with that. If there's a 1035 transfer, trying to get that done. And even once that's done, then following through with the carrier and say, okay, you got everything you need. Let's get that thing issued and get the agent paid. That can save you 2-3 days and get that money out for you. And all this is being done behind the scenes with little or no assistance from the producer, and all of a sudden you're getting paid quicker than you're used to in the past. And it's just because we've got a really experienced group of folks, really good relationships with the folks at the carriers that need to have the issues brought to their attention. So we put a lot of pride in that, and we get a lot of great feedback from our agents. So lean on us for back office support. If you're not happy with your current FMO because you feel like you send business in and they don't do anything for you, give IAMS a try. We'd love to show you the IAMS difference as far as that's concerned. We've got a great creative marketing team as well. Jacob, Sean, Aaron do a great job in helping you kind of build your image and build your brand in your area, whether that's just something as simple as helping you get your logo right or getting your letterhead done or your business card, or going all the way up to website, Facebook, anything that you do to help build your brand and name in your area and make it appear just the way that you want it to be. That's what they do. And the good news is that they work just with folks like you all day. The even better news is that we try and do as much of that as we can at very little or no cost to you. So if we need to order some business cards, obviously we're going to do the logo and everything for you. If you have some marketing reimbursement, we'll take care of it out of there, actually ordering up the business cards and getting them out to you. There's some expense involved in some of this. We'll take care of everything that we can when you're doing business with us, and you'll love what they put together. I get nothing but the best feedback from our producers in the field about what the job that they do, and listening to what the producer says and putting things together the way that they like and making it look just better than they ever thought. I call it magic. I tease our creative people all the time about how you give them something and what comes back out. It's like it's some magic going on. They're wizards behind the scene. They laugh at me, but I know a lot of our producers feel the same way. You let them know what you want, and then poof, there it is. They do a great job, better than what you would have expected, and it's more impactful with your clients and your potential prospects as well. So take advantage of the kind of the in-house advertising team. Call Jacob and just say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. We'll do everything that we can for you at no cost or very little cost, because we know that building that is really the best route for you to more success. If you're not familiar with our website, I would advise you, we'll have Firelight on there soon. We'll also have your business viewable on there soon for you. But in the meantime, there's a ton of great tools and solutions to help you grow your business out there, including term quoters, life insurance quoters, annuity sorters, forms that you need online, a great resource library. So if you haven't yet looked at the website or signed on or registered, please do so. If you need some help with that, which you should, and it's a pretty simple process, but if you want to go through it with someone here at the office, give your sales director a call and say, hey, show me what would be helpful to me on your website. And they'll give you the short tour, save you some time and effort as you go through browsing through there. Okay. Retirement Analyzer, it's a great tool. We make it available to our producers at no cost. If you're just getting started with us, or relatively new to us, and you want to hear more about how that Retirement Analyzer works, or if you want to actually have a look at it, we'll give you a 30-day free trial on us to let you get your feet wet and see if it's something that you can use. Marcus Soller here in our office kind of runs that, does a great job with introducing you to it. He'll give you the link, let you fool with it, spend some time with you with it, and if after you spend some time, you're going to be impressed with what it can do. Most of the time, what I hear from guys is that there's a lot of information that you need to put into that to get out everything that you would really want to show your client and say, okay, this is where you are in your retirement journey. This is where you're falling short. This is where you're long. This is where you're maybe not lined up the way that you want to be in terms of risk tolerance. This is how Social Security is going to interplay in there. Hey, this is, you need to change your plans. You just are not going to have enough money to do that type of thing. That's what the Retirement Analyzer is all about. And it puts it all in a beautiful graphic form so you can sit down with your client. And now all of a sudden you've got a plan in place with them that you can go back with each year and become more of the regular advisor that helps them on their journey, as opposed to a transactional agent that is really not important to your client. So the Retirement Analyzer is a great tool. If you're doing business with us, we make that right now available to you at no cost. Take advantage of it. Great stuff out there. IAMS Wealth Management. I'm going to throw a quick poll up here. And so you all have probably recently heard there's a little bit more kind of buzz in all of our trade magazines and from carriers talking about kind of the reignition a little bit of the fiduciary rule or best interest rule. Unfortunately, fortunately, it's coming back. You're going to have a little bit of a different way that you do business, whether it's 2019 or 2020, we don't know. So if you have interest in including as part of what you do the ability to offer a much more full range of products, all securities products really, then give the folks at IAMS Wealth Management a call. Check yes on this poll that I'm getting ready to shoot up here. And we'll have the folks give you a call. If you're already an IAR and you're maybe not happy with your RIA for a lot of different reasons, whatever, give us a call. Let us see if we might fit the bill for you. If you're maybe unhappy with the fees that you're having currently to pay, we've been told that we're at the relatively low end in terms of fee expense. And so if that might be a concern for you with your current RIA, give us a call or just check yes on this poll, and we'll have Charles give you a call. If maybe you're not happy with your payout, maybe, if you're in that business, you know that a lot of RIAs like the fee payout is 1%, and then they put you on a grid. So you might get 80 or 70 or 60 or 90% of that 1%. We don't have that. Our IARs earn actually just a skosh over 1% on most of their transactions. So the fee payout is pretty strong. One thing I think that sets the wealth management firm apart from others, IAMS Wealth apart from other wealth management firms, is we hear more and more and more that the level of service that we provide, the step by step walking you down the path on every transaction as you need it, is just not something that they've not seen from other wealth management firms. So if you're not happy with the service that you've been getting, you don't think you're maybe getting the attention that you need to be successful on a client by client basis, give Charles a call or just check yes on that poll. And then the final thing that I would say is if you're kind of indecisive and you're wondering what the process is to get your Series 65, how long that might take, we've been helping folks over the last 18 months just almost constantly. Folks that maybe the primary business was insurance and now they're interested in getting that 65 in place. We've been spending a lot of time with helping those people through the education process and making it easy for them to get from, hey, I'm interested, hey, I'm now a Series 65, I've passed that test. And some as quick as a month, and a lot of folks in the 2 to 3 month range, and some people just want to take a little bit longer, 6-7 months, whatever it takes. Our crew can help you through that process. So if any of those is true of you, then check yes on that poll. If you're not really considering wealth management as something you want to do, want to wait and see how this whole thing with best interest and fiduciary is going to play out, I don't recommend that. But if you want to wait and see how it's going to play out before you make that decision, that's fine. Check no on that poll. Maybe you're really happy with your RIA. I know that's true. I've talked to a lot of guys and gals that are real happy with the folks that they work with, and just check no on that poll. You certainly understand that. We'd love to help you if we can, but we value as much as you do. We think loyalty and dancing with the one that brung you is important. And so certainly if you're happy with where you're at, we know that's great. Just check no on that poll. You guys have all been really attentive actually to this poll. Thank you for voting so quickly. We're almost up to 100% voted, and it's only been a couple minutes that that's been up. So for those of you that haven't voted, maybe there's an issue with your voting. If so, give me a call, or any of your annuity sales directors a call, or call in and ask just directly for Charles Jr. If you want to talk about IMS Wealth Management, they'd be glad to walk you through what they're doing, how they're doing it, and if they can help you and answer any questions that you might have. So in the interest of moving along, I'd like to close that poll out. Thank you all for voting for me so quickly. And we'll close that one out, and let's get it moving along here. So the next poll, the next slide you see is about our upcoming academies, and we've got one scheduled, and that will be in Des Moines coming up here. So if you have interest, if you look at the screen ahead of you, what you see there is probably what I would call the centerpiece is the 4 top producers that we have come and talk and tell you a little bit about what they do, how they do it, and give you some solutions and some offers and some tools to help you grow your business. So that really sets the tenor of the meeting. It is really a sales and marketing academy. It is not a product knowledge academy. Will we talk about products? Definitely. We do it in conjunction with a carrier usually, and so we do spend some time talking about products and how the products are going to fit. But most of it is about how do I get in front of more prospects? How do I convert prospects once I have them in front of me on a more at a higher rate? How do I, what are some of the tools that I can use with my current clients to better serve the needs that they have and make sure that they're on the path that they want to be on? Those are the types of things that we spend about 80% of the academy talking about. And then the other 20%, we're going to talk product. We're probably going to spend some time talking a little bit about where the industry is going overall. We think that if you're running a business, you really need to know what's happening in the industry. I have so many of our regular producers that I talk to, and we'll be chatting along, and all of a sudden I'll say, "Yeah, what's going on with this?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I've sent out emails, we've done webinars on it. I think when so much of what our families depend on from us depends on what we do and what we know every day, not having a pretty clear knowledge of what's going on in our industry, I think is real oversight. So we do spend some time at the academy talking about, hey, what are the things legislatively? You've probably all heard a little bit about some recent legislation, kind of the Retirement Safety Act, and what is in there, what's important to you about that, where are the opportunities, what are the things you need to be careful of there, all this fiduciary stuff, and acting in the best interest of your client, what's going on suitability wise. Not to have a handle on that and be in our business and count on your business to work on autopilot without being cognizant of a lot of those things, I think it's short-sighted, and we want to help our producers with that. So we spend a lot of time at our academies talking about that. We'll have a guest speaker to come in and spend some time talking about that as well. That's always important. Certainly, when we're talking about products, we try and be really broad with where we're at. So hey, what's the best income rider for that? What's the best death benefit rider? What products? What are the top 3 or 4 accumulation products? What are the new products coming out that you really should be aware of? What are companies got in their product garage that they're in process of developing that you might think would be useful for some of your clients in the future? These are the things that we talk about at the academy. It's become kind of well recognized across the country over the last, we've been doing them now for 15 years. And so we've gotten a bit of a reputation because we are primarily sales and marketing based in what we do. And so that makes it a very, very interesting to a lot of folks out there like yourself. It's also important for you to know that we're going to take care of your expenses associated with that. So we're going to take care of your travel, your flights. We'll arrange them and take care of the cost. We'll take care of your hotel. We'll take care of meals while you're there. And of course, we'll have social hours as well. And so we're going to take care of all of that just to make you and make it more enticing and of more interest to you to do, I think, what you should be thinking about doing on your own every day, which is building your knowledge base. So if you have interest in coming into Academy, just check yes on that. If you do check yes, here's what's going to happen is you're going to get an email right after the webinar here, and the email is going to have a sample agenda, and it's also going to have a registration form. And so if you look closely at the hour by hour agenda and say this is of interest to me, then you fill out the registration form, and then we'll just put you on the list, and we'll just call you and say, hey, we've got an academy coming up here. We do about 4 of them a year, and we'll say we got an academy coming up at this location on this date. Is this a good fit for you? This location might work better, or hey, we'll just put it off until later this year or early next year. It basically just gets you in the pool of folks that we talk to. And so if that's of interest to you, hit yes on that poll, and what'll happen is you'll get that email. If you check no, or if you don't check it at all, you won't get the email that has the registration form and the sample itinerary. So as I mentioned, top producers is the centerpiece. It's coming in on a Wednesday. We usually go for a while Wednesday night. We'll go through most of the day Thursday, have a nice dinner and a social hour that evening, get you in Friday for the morning, and then get you out back to the airport or get you back to your car and get you back on your way. So you can count on being out of your office for 3 days for sure. So anyway, if that is of interest to you, I want you to check yes on that poll. If not, check no. I'm going to close that poll up here in about 30 seconds. We've already had it open for 3 minutes. I want to go ahead and get it closed down and get moved along. So vote quickly if you can. Again, if you are unable to vote and you would still like information, give anyone on the sales team a call and just say, hey, send me out an agenda, send me out a registration form, or tell me more about the academy. Steve wasn't clear enough on the webinar about what we do there. I need to know a little bit more, and they'll be glad to fill you in the details. And they can certainly send you the registration and the sample agenda as well. So with that, I'm going to close that poll up. Thank you all, most of you, for voting so quickly. Close that out, and we're going to get moving along here. So I want to make sure that you are all aware, because I know we've got many of you on the line that are very close to qualification for our trip down to the Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida, and qualification is ending quite shortly here at the end of June. So we've still got some time. For those of you that are on board with me today that are getting close to qualifying, that is based on issued business. So anything that you want to qualify, you need to probably get in here fairly quickly. All the business that you do, whether it's life, annuity, long-term care, med subs, every business that you do qualifies for IAMS for our convention with any carrier. So by all means, those of you that are on the cusp, please hurry. I don't want anybody to miss it by just a little bit. So let us know what we can do to help you. So here we go. Dave, are you with us this morning? If you are, you probably still have your microphone on mute because we can't hear you. Dave will be joining us here very shortly if he's not on the line with us already. We're going to talk about Social Security claiming strategies, and as Dave is getting his controls and everything ready to go.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Dave. Good morning. I was just getting ready to give them just a little bit of background on you. Dave is right on the cusp of, if he hasn't just surpassed 500 total seminars on various subjects all around helping his clients prepare for retirement and prepare for being in the best situation they can possibly be as they go into their savings and investment and retirement years. And that's been the focus of his business since the early 80s. He does both securities and fixed products, insurance products, and has for most of his career as well. We were fortunate enough to meet Dave about 15, 16 years ago. Time flies, doesn't it, Dave? So we've known Dave for a lot of time. In fact, we met him. I mentioned our academies earlier. We met Dave at one of our academies and got to know each other, and Dave got to do business, qualified for one of our top producers meetings, and we're standing on the end of the boat heading up towards Alaska, and he's telling me a little bit more about himself and what he does. And I said, Dave, can you help us? Can you coach some of our guys as well? And he did some practice management coaching, which he still does. He's done some seminar coaching along the way. He's incorporated Social Security seminars for the last 4 or 5 years and really gotten to be, in my mind, probably one of the best people with practical knowledge of Social Security that I know. And he's helped out a lot of our producers in that realm. And he's recently also added radio, which he has done on his own, but from a coaching perspective, he's added radio to that as well, kind of a full-scale radio program. So he's been a great asset for IAMS, a great asset for our producers over many, many years, and we feel really fortunate to have someone of his caliber in terms of Social Security knowledge and seminars, working with our guys and building one of the most successful seminar programs that we've really ever had here at IAMS. We have some great ones. We've had a lot of success, but I don't know that any have drawn the level of success that we've seen over the years with Social Security claiming. So with that introduction, Dave, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll close up my poll, which I already did. Good work, Steve. And I'll turn the mouse over to you, and you can go ahead and take off on Social Security claiming. Thank you, David.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for everybody for being with us today. Social Security, complicated subject. Yeah, 2,700 rules, almost 2,700 rules the government imposes on Social Security claiming. That gives us a great opportunity to market this. One of the things is that the Social Security Administration, where most people get their information, cannot give advice. They can't give you scenario planning like restricted application or telling you, hey, I would wait to do this or wait to do this. They can give you your best benefit right now. That really opens up the door for us to show Social Security claiming and when the best time to claim is. And I think a great way to do that is through Social Security claiming seminars. So again, thank you very much for your time. And if you've got a question, just type it on in. And this is going to take about 20 or 25 minutes and answer any questions. And here we go. So baby boomers born from 1946 to 1964, that's really who's rolling on over and getting to that age of 62, the first age of when you can go in and take Social Security. So questions that they have when they come into a seminar, they want to know, hey, when's the best time for me to apply? What's the best age? Can I coordinate with my spouse? Remember, Social Security has 3 dates or ages that are important. The first date you can take Social Security is the age of 62. The last date you have to take Social Security by, or you go in and you lose the benefit, is 70, and then the date in the middle, age 66 to 67, is called full retirement age. If you take before that, it's reduced. If you wait after that, it's increased. Yeah, so that's the basics of Social Security 101. But there's, Social Security is nothing more than a government guaranteed annuity, but it has perks. It has advantages that a commercial annuity just can't give. It has a survivor benefit. It has a spousal benefit. It has cost of living benefit. It has so many things, a divorce survivor benefit that most annuities would not have. And the big question that most people have, is it going to be there for me? And I'm going to say, yes, it will. There may need to be some changes to Social Security claiming, but it's going to be there for everyone, I can assure you. 10 years ago, I've actually been showing Social Security workshops for 9 years now, when I really got to understand Social Security. But you never saw things like this. Popular Social Security Strategies, NICS, actually it said phased out. That was filed and suspended, was phased out in 2015 over 6 months, and restricted application is phased out over 8 years. But there's much more in the paper, in magazines, than there ever has been. So why seminar marketing? I will let you know right now, I was just coaching a fellow this morning. I think he's going to be very successful in seminar marketing with Social Security. But what happens is that having great knowledge of any subject doesn't make you a good salesperson. What makes you a good salesperson is by getting in front of a lot of qualified prospects. This last Social Security workshop, if I can do $250,000 worth of business, I'm happy. I did a little over 500,000. Well, it's about 375,000 right now, but I got another 125,000 that I'm closing tomorrow on an annuity. That, of course, goes through IAMS. But it just gets you in front of people. It gets to open up their portfolios, and there's no doubt that Social Security seminar marketing is more educational in nature. It's less sales in nature. We don't talk about any kind of product whatsoever. But the big thing is transitioning from Social Security, actually from placing the business, and of course through the coaching sessions. I have 5 coaching sessions. We go through all of that. Okay. Now, when you look at full retirement age, if you're born from 1943 to 1954, the full retirement age is 66. I was born in 55. It's 66 years and 2 months. If you're born 1960 or later, it's 67. A newborn born today, full retirement age is 67. And certainly that might change in the future, but that's what it is now. If you take it 62 and your full retirement age is 66, you're going to get dinged or discounted 25%. You get 75% of the benefit. If you wait till you're 66, you'll get your entire benefit of 100% of Social Security. If you wait one more year after, it grows a guaranteed 8%. The delayed retirement credits from 66 to 67 is 8%. And remember, with Social Security, all benefits have a cost of living increase if there was a cost of living increase that year. Very, very interesting. Now, spousal benefits, in simplistic form, and there's always detours and there's always, some exits from this, but John's primary insurance amount, PIA meaning at 66 is $2,000. Jane's PIA primary insurance amount at 66 is $800. John and Jane both take. John takes his $2,000. Jane has an option. She can take all of her $800, or she can take half of John's benefit, which is $1,000, whichever is higher. Well, $1,000 is $200 higher than $800. So she takes half of John's. John has to claim for her to do that. If he lets his grow, she could only get $800 until he claims. That's how a spousal benefit works. Now, you've got more choices on divorce spouse, and this is the triple play for divorce spouse benefits. Your marriage had to last 10 years. You currently are unmarried, and your ex is at least 62 or over. If those three things come into play, you can treat your ex just like you're still married to them in the eyes of Social Security. And there certainly are more benefits of being married for Social Security claiming than single. Very, very important. Survivor benefit. So again, being simplistic here, but Joe and Julie are married. They're both full retirement age, 66 or older. Joe's benefit is $2,000, Julie's is $1,200, and Joe dies. And normally the man does die first before the woman. Julie can keep her benefit of $1,200, or she can let her benefit of $1,200 go, and she can jump up to Joe's $2,000. Now what happens is the family benefit was $2,000 and $1,200, $3,200, but now the family benefit is $2,000, but it's a lot better than if it was just $1,200 for herself. Now, if Julie dies, Joe can take all of his or half, all of his or all of his spouse that just died. Well, of course, his $2,000 is higher. He would keep his $2,000. Also, with survivor benefits, you can start taking a survivor benefit at the age of 60. Now, there's a decrease of 28.5%, but you can take as early as 60. Also, what you can do, you can go in and take your survivor benefit and let yours grow. So hopefully at a higher amount. And that's a full survivor benefit. It works like a file and suspend before they outlaw that, but it's still available for survivor benefits. Now, I will tell you right now, only about 3% of all Americans really understand Social Security, and only about 15% of advisors. So I'm not expecting for you to understand every single thing, but that's one of the great things about giving Social Security seminars. With coaching from me, we have 5 coaching sessions, and then I'm always available for you to ask questions. What happens is that you will really get a really good feeling of how Social Security works, and that is so important for income planning for any pre-retired or retired. Now, spousal benefits, there was file and suspend, but the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 phased out file and suspend in 6 months, but restricted application is still available, but you have to be born January the 1st of 1954 or before. Like I was born in 55, so I couldn't apply for restricted application. And how does restricted application work if you're lucky enough to be one of those older folks? let's say Mike and Mary are both 66, they're both full retirement age, and Mike's primary insurance amount is $2,000. Mary's primary insurance amount is $800. Mary files for benefit at 66, but remember, Mike, for Mary to get half of his, he would need to file too, but he doesn't file. He lets his grow, but because he was born January 1 of 1954 or earlier, he can go in and restrict his application. So in the eyes of Social Security, he's taking it, but he's letting it grow. He gets that guaranteed 8% delayed retirement credit, but now he gets a spousal benefit. He gets half of Mary's $800. He gets that $400 as a spousal benefit as his is growing. How great is that? So $4,800 a year over $19,000 over 4 years, and it's just like free money. Less than 1% of the people that could do this benefit take advantage of it. The government would rather have you not know. That's the truth. So then when Mike turns 70, of course he has to start taking. He lets his spousal benefit of $400 go, but now Mary can take, because he's taking now. Mary can take half of what his was at 66. Not what it grew to, but at 66. His was 2,000 at 66. Half of that's 100. Is 1,000. Mary can jump up from at his age of 70 from 800. She gets a $200 top up. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to restricted application, but I'll tell you, it's like Cinderella's slipper. If it fits great. Called restricted application. Remember I said Social Security, they can't offer advice. In fact, I was pretty excited when I saw this on the net. Right from taking the claim at the Social Security Administration office, provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. If you have any questions, type them on in. So this is an evaluation form, and I don't have it on the actual slide in the presentation, but we talk about the 5 primary sources of income for retireds: work, pensions, income-producing assets, required minimum distributions, and then how Social Security goes in and complements those other 4. I believe Social Security is by far the most flexible of all of the income sources. When we start it, how much we get, etc. And this really is great to go through this in this setting with the client, because work makes us nothing, pensions compensate us nothing, either RMCs or Social Security, but finding out what their investments are. Just like I have $122,000 tomorrow, it's in a VA, she's got benefits that she just is never going to use. She's paying almost 4% of internal cost. We're moving over to a fixed annuity. And what happens is she thought her guarantee was her principal, but little did she know it was the guarantee of income she was talking about. So that came from the Social Security. She brought her statement in to have me look at that. And that's how we garner business from Social Security workshops. We don't talk about anything at the workshop, but we certainly do when we get one-on-one. Horse's Mouth, about $525. It provides the presentation. And what happens is that there's a lot of great reading material also. Elaine Floyd is the kind of the inventor of this for Horse's Mouth. I'm doing 2 Social Security workshops next week. That'll put me at 498 public workshops that I've done since the mid-'80s. That sounds like a lot. There's probably 70 or 80 that are Social Security of those, maybe 90. But you know what? That's about between 15 and 20 workshops a year. That's between 7 and 10 mailings or marketings and 2 workshops out of each one of those. We give a lot of attachments, a lot of information from the coaching. I make money from coaching. I don't make money from being in your hierarchy. I don't make money from being in an override from your annuity business or life business. I make money from coaching. And so I charge $150 per coaching session, 5 sessions at $750. IAMS, as long as you qualify, meaning you're contracted to them and intend on doing business with IAMS, then they pay for $555 of the $750 of coaching costs. That's $195 to coach for 5 sessions, and you can use me as much as you want without wearing me out. You can use me as much as you want for questions so I can hopefully help your business. Social Security is pretty cool. Most people don't understand it. We can do it, one of the few you can do without meals. You can get enough people without meals. It's a turnkey system. And I'll tell you what, we walk through every single piece of how we make this work. It says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Yeah, tomorrow never comes, does it? If you got some, if you have some interest, then certainly we're going to put a poll up here. And on that poll, it's going to go in and talk about if you would like to have a consultation with me for probably for half an hour, just talk about your business and see if Social Security workshops could benefit your business. So Steve, if you want to put up that poll, that would be great. And then I've got it, Steve, there might be some things that you can certainly answer too. I got to bug out of here just a little bit early because of an early appointment that a person had to have this morning. But Steve will be back just shortly. Now, again, if you've got any questions at all, type those on in, and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. So he will be going in, and he is the one that kind of brings up the poll and so forth. So hold on just for one real quick second. So Steve Leck said, Social Security claiming is really an interesting, set of events because as I said, most people don't understand Social Security, and I have I coach it. I go to different industry functions and coach Social Security at annuity academies. I go in and I talk about Social Security, but I'll tell you right now, of all the government programs, I truly do believe that Social Security is probably the very best of any government program. It's been around since 1935, so it's 80 plus years, and it has never missed a Social Security payment. The trust fund, which would payroll taxes go in, the trust fund has $2.9 trillion worth of assets. And those assets, most of them have been borrowed by the government. That's why you'll hear it called a Ponzi scheme. But what backs that is an IOU from the U.S. government. And what happens is that's the same IOU that any kind of money or any kind of currency of the United States government is backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. So don't let that Ponzi scheme, don't buy for that. It's backed by the U.S. government. Steve, I have got to bug out of here a little bit early for an appointment, so that's why I got done a little bit earlier than normal.
Perfect.
Could you put up the poll? That would be an important thing. So if people would like to mark yes, then certainly put a daytime phone number that we have down, and that one of our administrators will call you tomorrow and set up a good time in the next week or two to get together to see if Social Security seminars could help your business. Certainly help mine. It's helped a lot of people that I coach. And Steve, I'm just going to answer a couple questions, and I'll let you answer the rest. But is there one or two questions there that are important for me to answer?
So talk a little bit, Dave. There's about 8 questions here, and they're all about expense and return. So can you talk a little bit about your expenses are and what your general returns have been?
Right. So I'll put this into one question, and then Steve, I'll let you handle the rest.
Okay.
And I'm sorry that I got a bug. I mean, this is what I got an appointment that I've got to go to. So
Perfect.
Let me just say this: when we do a mailing, the mailing is going to run about $3,300, and then you've got another $100 for the 800 number. There's no cost for the seminar itself. I mean, you're going to have Cokes, cookies, and coffee, maybe some tea. So your whole amount is between $3,000 and $3,500, and our goal is to get 35 to 45 people, attendees. And what we hope is that we've got 25, 6, 7 buying units, and that we'd like to go in and have a minimum of 10 appointments. My last one, I had 10 appointments for the last Social Security workshop, and this is high, but if I close tomorrow's, I'll have closed 3 of those people, which is pretty darn good. And what happens is I would like to get 250,000. If I get 250,000, this one's going to be a little over 500,000, which is a very good seminar for me. But that's pretty much what it is. So if you have 200,000, if you make 5%, that's $10,000. It costs about 3,500 to put on. That's what the goal is. But remember, the more you do, the better you get. But people need educated about Social Security claiming. So has it, Steve? I would say that of all the seminars, I've been around for 15 years now. I don't think there's been another seminar that we've done that's been more popular or as financially rewarding as Social Security claiming.
No, that's without a doubt, Dave. There's no question about that in terms of the cost versus the benefit. There's not even anything close to Social Security claiming webinar or seminars.
Yeah, I agree. Well, so Steve, I know there might be some other questions, but I want you just to kind of finish out. And again, I have an appointment, and it just came a little bit early, but I will let you finish this.
Okay.
And hopefully you mark yes. If you mark yes, we will get a hold of you. Certainly take the call or call us back. I know you're busy. We're busy too, but I'd love to talk to you and just see if this could be. This is certainly not a hard sell. I want people who want to market, who want to be good at seminar marketing, or any other kind of marketing. It might be Retirement Boss Radio host marketing. There's a lot of things that we do here at IAM. So I'll let you take it from here, Steve, and I hope I hear from a lot of folks.
Great, Dave. Thank you. Good luck on your appointment, and we'll I'll probably forward some questions to you along the way here as well, a little bit later. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Dave. So there are actually quite a few questions here that I think need answering. So I have one person wanted to have opportunity to see Dave's seminar. So when you decide to do seminars with Dave on the Social Security side, what will happen is you'll get a kit, and that kit will include also, beyond all the materials that you need, it also includes a taped seminar that Dave has done. He actually did it at a community college, which most of the seminars that he does are at educational venues. I guess that answers the next question, is where do we do the seminars? There are no meals, so we're not doing them at restaurants. They're done at educational venues, libraries, community colleges, things like that. So their credit is not this. We have not designed this course with college credits or credits somehow involved in this. These courses are usually they last about an hour and 10 minutes, and that's start to finish. The tone is very teacher-student, professorial, if you will, in the way that it's presented. Not many questions are answered during the course of the meeting, so there's a question about how do we learn about Social Security. I think that's what tends to scare folks off more than anything else from Social Security claiming. You don't need to be a great showman at all to do seminars for Social Security, but I think a lot of people are concerned about having that knowledge handy, and it's a valid concern. There is some knowledge that has to be gotten. So there's a few ways that happens. When you decide to do Social Security claiming seminars, or if you just want to learn more about Social Security claiming, I do recommend Social Security claiming from horse's mouth, and that's part of what you get when you decide that you want to go ahead with seminars. So you'll get a manual that includes, actually there are two manuals, really easy read. It's not like a manual sounds intimidating. It's not like that at all. The manuals are pretty easy to get through, very easy read, and great reference materials. And besides having that, you're going to have access to Dave. Dave recommends a couple of quick reads from a book standpoint that will help you bone up on your Social Security information. And then there's also included with that just a helpline. So you can just type in any question and you'll get back an answer. Usually you get back those answers within 15, 20 minutes. That's also included with Horse's Mouth. So you have a lot of information there. Dave is a great resource, and he's almost always available for a conversation if you have a question very specific. But here's the thing that you most want to keep in mind. So when you're talking to folks about Social Security claiming, your knowledge level is going to be 95% above anyone in that room. Now, you're going to run through some things. You don't want to answer questions during the course of that 1 hour presentation. Number one, it could be too time consuming. Number two, you're often talking about things that are very specific. Like, on the webinar today, I see that there are a number of questions that are very, very specific. And if you're going to get those in the course of a seminar, you probably don't want to be answering those, or certainly might have to ask them other questions about their personal situation. So that's not really a very good time to answer questions. So most folks, they will start that seminar off and say, look, we're going to talk about Social Security here. I'm going to give you the basics of the things that you need to know. If you would like to have more questions answered, we're certainly open to doing that on a one-on-one basis. So I don't answer questions here during the course of today's seminar, and that's that. And so you don't have to worry about getting pinned down during the course of the seminar with a question that you don't know the answer to. And certainly if some things come up during the course of an appointment that you don't know an answer to, you can say, you know what, why don't you hold on a sec, or, we'll get some answers to those questions for you. So we don't need to know every answer to every question that's going to come up, but you'll get a really good, solid working knowledge that you can use and answer 95% of the questions your clients and potential prospects are going to have as part of getting into the seminar business around Social Security claiming. So it's really a great, great bonus. As I mentioned at the outset, for those of you that are on board right away, 76% of folks responded to a nationwide seminar and basically said, hey, if my advisor doesn't know enough to answer my questions on Social Security, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to look for another advisor. So knowing about Social Security is important to you. Being able to incorporate that and help you build prospects with it is a really, really great way to add to your practice, to add your value to your personal value to your clients, to add your value in your community, and to meet more folks on a very favorable basis. And who are the folks that we want to talk to? Folks that are concerned about what's going to be happening to them in terms of income in retirement. So these are the exact folks that most of us want to be talking to. It really is a bit of a slam dunk. There's no reason at all to be concerned about the seminar itself. Like I said, you'll have that down pat. You can take 3 days before the seminar to go through it a couple times, and you will have it down pat. And it's not it's not a showman thing at all. It really is kind of a teacher-student type of approach. So most folks that I've talked to that may have had trouble doing seminars in the past around other subjects have done pretty well with Social Security. I will say too, and this is the next question, and so obviously we've got some folks on board here today that have had some experience with Social Security claiming seminars, because there's a question or two, and Maureen and Doug, I'll try and answer this as best I can. So having the seminar itself and getting people in and sitting down for the seminar is one part of it. Where a lot of people do fall down is then, how do I convert from interest in Social Security and willingness to come and learn about what their Social Security benefits are in a one-on-one appointment to talking about their full financial situation, and to allowing me to kind of take that next step. So Dave has really built it. He talked a little bit about it, but he's kind of built a process for that, because that's exactly what he ran into for his first 2 seminars. What we recommend is you do 1 mailing, you do 2 seminars. Dave came out of his first 2 seminars, had really good attendance, had really good appointment conversion, better than he was used to, which you'll find that to be true as well, better than he was used to from other seminars that he'd done in the past. So he came out of it really excited. As he went through those first 5, 6, 7 appointments that he had, the issue that kind of arose was, it's a little bit different in converting from talking about Social Security to where we're actually talking about, me sitting down and doing their financial plan. So if you're doing a seminar on 401ks, your client's coming in, they're ready to talk about their 401k. If you're doing a seminar on Social Security claiming, what are they ready to come and talk to you about? Their Social Security. Well, you and I both know that if you're going to have a really good conversation about what's best for them in terms of how to elect their Social Security benefits, you really have to have a full idea of what their plan is for retirement, what their income needs are going to be, and when they're going to be in retirement. When are they going to retire? What are the other benefits? So you need to have all that. So getting through those kind of what Dave calls the pillars of a sound retirement plan is part of then converting that conversion language. And so we've helped a number of people that have done Social Security seminars and didn't have the success that we're experienced with Dave and his people in actually converting by helping them through that conversion language process. So Dave does a really great job with that, and it's important. It's probably, in the end, it was probably the single most important differential between what we do and what people had gotten from other Social Security seminars, because a lot of folks, there's a lot of Social Security seminars out there. You can go to Horse's Mouth, and for $700, you can go direct and buy their Social Security seminar. You would think you'd have everything you need. You'd run into the exact same problem as, okay, how do I take the next step? How do I convert now from interest in Social Security? And we can definitely help with that, and it's really a key ingredient. So there's a lot of questions that are specific, so I'm going to defer those to Dave, the Social Security expert, and so I'm going to make sure that he gives each of you a call. There's 4 or 5 questions here that I think are kind of specific that he can help with. Get a question early on that I missed, and I apologize. So the upcoming IAMS Academy, the next one is going to be in Des Moines, Iowa. The scheduled date for that is September 18th through the 20th. So for those of you that have interest in that and might want to attend there, you got plenty of advance notice there. Our number appears at the bottom of some of the slides. I've mentioned 2 or 3 times to call our sales director, and I neglected to give our phone number. It's 800-255-5055. You can ask for myself. I'm Steve Murray. You can ask for any sales director. When you call here at IAMS, there's not a voicemail, so you're just going to get a live body answering the phone. We don't have voicemail at all. So a live body will answer the phone, and they'll get you to the person that you need. And so if you want to go learn more about the upcoming academies, whatever, just ask for anybody on the sales director side. They'll be glad to help you with that. Okay, let me see if I've missed any other questions here. Sorry about that. I've evidently okay, it looks like we have answered, except for the very specific ones. It looks like we have answered the other questions. Get down. Yes, the Horse's Mouth tool comes with all the slides that you'd need to do a seminar. What I would say about that is that Dave has certainly made some changes and shortened it up a little bit. Horse's Mouth tends to be a little bit longer, so Dave has taken some of the slides out and shortened it up and created more situations where clients would really, kind of tickle them to say, okay, I need to find that out. So Dave has got some difference in his slides. Okay, I think that answers all the questions. Thank you all for your patience here with us today. Looks like most of you have answered that poll, or answers have answered. For those of you that did not, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, I'm glad to do that. Just give me a call. As I mentioned, the number here is 800-255-5055. You had great turnout today, a lot of great questions. For those of you that had the more specific questions, I'm going to ask Dave to give you a call and answer those questions on a one-on-one basis, which he will do. His team will also set up, for any of you that answered yes, his team will set up just a quick 15-minute call. Some questions arise around availability in certain areas. It can certainly happen that the area that you're in, that there's already someone there doing our Social Security seminars, which could present a problem because you can't support 2 in a relatively small area. But we've been able to work around most of those in one way or another. So if that's a concern for you, we can help you with that. So as we close up here today, I want to thank you all. You've taken a good bit of time out of your schedule. So I want to thank you all for doing that. We're all about here at IAMS making sure that we're supplying you with the things that you need to be successful. Hopefully you found something here today that falls into that category. If not, or if you have a question or if you have a comment that you'd like to pass on to me, I'd love to have them. Give me a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. Thank you for joining us today as we get started into the summer months and you're looking for ways to keep your business flowing and growing. We'd love to help you here at IAMS do just that. So give us a call. Thank you for joining us today. We're predisposed to helping people that join us at webinars. We know that you're interested in growing your business, and those are the kind of people that we want to be with and associate with. So let us know how we can help you. Have a great finish to your day. Have a great finish to your sales week. And finally, thank you on behalf of everyone here at IAMS for tuning into today's webinar. Thank you very much.